Titan was like most planets. Too many mouths, not enough to go around. And when we faced extinction, I offered a solution.
Genocide.
But random, dispassionate, fair to rich and poor alike. They called me a madman. And what I predicted came to pass.
Congratulations, you're a prophet
I'm a survivor.
who wants to murder trillions.
With all 6 stones, I could simply snap my fingers. They would all cease to exist. I call that mercy.
And then what?
I finally rest and watch the sunrise on a grateful universe. The hardest choices require the strongest wills.
You know, it's hard being in this position, having so much time on your hands and seeing so many people worse off than you. And you may get this desire, this impulse, right? This feeling well up within you to help them out. Maybe go over there and talk to them. Maybe if you can't get them some grub. Maybe ask, is there anything you need? Only to be met head on, face to face with a fiend. Footsteps guided by vice. Oh, they're not everyone's like that. You're right. But do you personally have the desire, the motivation from within yourself to go up to every decrepit bum you see and to give them an ear? Because I don't. I'm very picky. I choose wisely whom I talk to, unless, of course, approached directly. And unfortunately, I have not met a single one that has not either pulled out a crack pipe in front of me, or glass, offered cigarettes, offered meth, offered, like yesterday, to suck my dick, okay? Crack open a bottle and just start chugging. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Even when you see, at least when I saw, I'm like, wow, we got some people rolling around shopping carts and they appear to be picking up trash. Well, sure, yeah, maybe they're picking up trash from time to time, but really what they're doing is they're scavenging, right? They're looking for valuables that they can possibly barter for drugs, okay? Their next fix. Oh man, they're busy, right? They're exemplifying a biblical principle. If a man does not work, he doesn't eat. Look, they're picking up cans. They're gonna, they're picking up cans so that they can get drugs. The next fix. I just had 3 girls. I'm gonna call them girls, they ain't women, but I have the 3 girls, okay? And they see the bag, they see me sitting at the bench reading, and they're like, hey, excuse me. And I got my hood up, I got a hat on, my face isn't even visible, but they're insistent upon getting my attention. So I look up, yeah. We're doing a survey of people that are homeless in the area. We were just wondering if you'd like to be a part of that survey. No. Well, we're just trying to get insight as to how resources could be done or used better around here. And that kind of poked my ears. Well, first and foremost, these people have to want to help themselves. And it's not just people at the bottom. It's not just these hobos that you're trying to help. It's everyone. Everyone is struggling with some type of vice. You can't sit here and tell me that life is peachy keen, but then again they could because they're women. If they had guys out here, okay? If they had young guys out here talking to hobos and talking to people, they'd probably put two and two together and realize that everyone's struggling. And that's what she told me. She's like, well, that's not really fair. You can't say that they're all I didn't say they're all drug addicts. I said the majority of them are, and the ones that you want to help, right, the ones that are actually going to make use of the funding are most assuredly drug addicts. And how do I know this? Because I get food stamps. I have a tent, and aside from finding a place to sleep and stowing my stuff away so I can shop for some food, I'm perfectly fine. I have no desire to go to food banks. I have no need. I have no need to plug in to the welfare office and get a few bucks, or maybe clean the streets for a few bucks, because I get some donations from you guys, but if I really needed some money, I'd find some other way. Maybe I would go up to someone as I'm clean and presentable and do a quick task and get like 10 or 20 bucks, because that's all I really need at one time. People that need 200, 300 bucks a month, okay, and they don't have bills, what could they possibly be using that money for? I mean, I'm not seeing any artists out here. I'm not seeing the next Bob Ross, okay? I'm not seeing people doing music, so they need to buy like little bongos or drums. I'm not seeing people, I don't know, doing surfing or skateboarding, or they need to fix their bike. Like, I'm not seeing stuff like this. I'm not seeing mechanics. I'm not seeing computer scientists. I am seeing fiends. Footsteps once again guided by vice. And the impulse is so strong that even as they're talking to you, you cannot hang on a single word they say. Everything ultimately comes down to the deep-rooted need, that physical urge to feel good again. Boredom, not once. Okay? Depression, pain, misery, sorrow, not once. The escaping of this through cheap, accessible drugs, selling their bodies out, male or female, living quite literally on the ground, on a piece of cardboard, or maybe if they're lucky they found like a yoga mat, and they carry around this blanket with them that's piss soaked, or like yesterday that one guy had a shit smeared one. This is what you see. We're not in the rural areas where people could live in the woods. No, these people are in your face. The only way any help is going to be brought forth, the only help, is through judgment. Okay? People need to not help. People need to stop offering assistance. And these people will eventually, as sad as it is, people that are actually dealing with the fentanyl crisis in some of these cities, they say there's only two options. They either get clean or they die. And yet this desire, right, rooted in emotion, is being perpetuated in a lot of cities and polluting, okay, and contaminating the minds. Your little sentiments don't mean anything to someone who's only thinking and who's only a one-trick pony, who's only one-track minded, okay? One of the women, as I was talking, because I'm explaining, it's like, okay, yeah, not only do they need to help themselves, and this is the reality. I've walked all around the city. I've talked to these people. You haven't, okay? You're in the safe area. I've been all over. And unless you're going to be all over and actually ask the real questions and not believe the words that come out of their mouth, but look at their actions and look at the way that they live and how they present themselves, unless you're going to take those things into account, I don't think you're capable of doing this job. But I digress. I told him, it's like, no, man, this is societal, okay? This is a product of capitalism. oh, well, we're working middle class. You're middle class? Excuse me? So I couldn't even really go into like all that, but it's like, this is what happens when, you get monopolies, when the money goes up and the rest of the money trickles down and there's no belonging or community. It's like, why do you think these people not only resort to drugs, but they have such a hard time quitting too, because they're around other people, right? They belong to something. Even if it's a bunch of other degens. Even if it's causing them to spiral further. They're at least talking to other people. They're at least socializing. It's more than they'd get if they were like myself, sober and alone. Okay, and of no interaction outside of like basic pleasantries. Like it's hard to fathom that you have to explain like the social element to people, especially women. It just shows me that they come out there, this is like a charitable service for them. They truly in their heart of hearts believe that they're doing something good, but they're not. They're the reason why this is such an issue. If you had men in the welfare office, I'm talking about actual like principled, stalwart, unemotional men that understand that sometimes you got to put a kibosh to aid and assistance. Sometimes you got to be a little heavy-handed in order to get things done, in order to change things. Unless you get people like that in positions of power, you can forget anything ever changing. I'm so sick and tired of people thinking that things are gonna fucking change, man. It's laughable. It's another reason I delete a lot of comments, man. A lot of you hope huxleys out here telling me, oh, don't worry, man, things are gonna get better. Things are gonna turn around, man. You got a good head on your shoulders. You're so intellectual, bro. You're so articulate, man. This is just a season. It's a phase. Yeah, man, it's been a phase. It's a steady, right? A parabolic decline for at least 5 years now. So you're going to tell me you're right, the next phase is going to be lower. Why do you think I'm talking about asceticism, monasticism? Come on, guys. Put 2 and 2 together. Learn how to follow. String along, dude. Put the pieces together. Fuck. As you can see, another day at the beach. Been reading a book. Kind of just keeping my mind a little at bay. I found a few places that provide some free Wi-Fi nearby, so that's kind of cool. That's how I was able to post so late last night. And yeah, I end up getting my buns up at 6:37 in the morning, pack my tent up right before the municipalities come by, and literally stick their head out like a hound dog out the window looking at me like, get a move on, pack your stuff up. I know, bro, I know, don't worry. What does it look like I'm doing? Tent's packed, okay? I'm out of here. Alright, good. But then again, I could stay there for like all day and they wouldn't do anything. They can't do anything. They literally like have no cojones to come down and actually confront me. So, and they're not, as much as there's like legislation against this kind of stuff, they're not going to call the cops in and do anything either, unless you're a real problem, right? Unless you're like deranged, a lunatic, and smearing shit all over yourself and throwing trash and burning, exegies to some demoness from another dimension or something, She's speaking Aramaic enchantments. But yeah, man, so soak it all in. This is it. Basic Cali. Got some cool surfing this morning. Surfing is definitely the go-to around here, and the waves are exceptional as the full moon's coming. But yeah, no, I'm still not picking up trash. I'm not fucking doing anything around here. I'm just gonna collect my bennies. I'm gonna go to the library, read, fuck around on my phone because I don't care. And then when I'm forced to again, I'll make my way on out of here. But not until I'm forced. I have no desire to pursue asceticism. I never will. I never will have a desire to strip myself of anything normal, okay? If anything that would give me some modicum of pleasure in this hell realm, so that I can devote myself to some spiritual ideal. Fuck that. okay? Fuck you copesters out there too that want to sit there and be like Buddha. Fucking retards. Go ahead and Buddha, Max. See where that gets you, dude. Such a joke, man. Such a fucking joke. It would have made more sense if you were in like some kind of tight-knit community and you could actually, you know, not have to get financial aid from the government, and instead through compassion, through humility, through self-sacrifice, you could help out people in your community and they would take care of you. That would make sense then. And I would definitely become monastic at that point. I would definitely pursue asceticism if that was the reality. In fact, when you read about it, that's all it is. You fucks. There's some semblance of community. It's not people just going out there like into a mountain somewhere and waiting to die. Sure, that happens, but again, that's the exception. I don't give a lick about the exception. I care about the rule when we're talking about such a ridiculous cope. Okay? And it is a cope in this modern era. It's not a cope if you were to go back 200 years ago. But we don't have that privilege, do we? There ain't no hot tub time machine. I'm not gonna fucking silly salmon my way into that ocean over there and find myself, 200 years in the past. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna, forego all this old age crap, and I'm just gonna deal with what is, right now, here and now. What's available? What's on offer? What works? What staves off the most miserable inclinations? And that's all. Peace.
And sometimes I think I'm just not good for people. I wear them down. They get unhappy.